We tend to take the things that go through our heads so seriously. The thoughts that we have, the ideas that we have that tell us who we are and what we ought to be doing. We tend to see that as like an unobstructable reality. Like it has to be that way because my mind told me so. My mind is telling me who I am, what I'm capable of, what I should be doing. But what if it's not that at all? What if the thoughts going through our mind are just a suggestion? And what if that suggestion is just a reflection of the subconscious programming present within our subconscious mind? It's just an idea. It's just a belief. And these beliefs are malleable. They can be changed, they can be rearranged, they can be redesigned, they can be removed. So why is it that we let these thoughts steer us? And I think the fact that we do is not entirely a bad thing. Because let's say you have a positive thought. Let's say you have something that leads you to do something positive. Like let's say go exercise. Or let's say like eat healthy or whatever it might be. But you have some thought in your head that comes up and says, I don't know if I should eat that right now. Maybe I'll eat this instead. Or, I'm feeling kind of tired, but I know I should go be active today. I know I should go do something about that. When you have those sorts of thoughts present and they influence you to actually take action on them, that's a positive thing. It leads us in a direction of something that's going to yield a positive result. And we have those thoughts because that reflects the self-image that we have about ourselves that aligns with that. So if you're having thoughts that regularly lead you to, I'm going to go exercise instead of being lazy on the couch. Maybe I'm going to eat this cleaner thing, or maybe I'm going to go work on this project instead of just sitting and mindlessly scrolling. Whatever it might be, when we have those thoughts frequently and we continue to choose to act on them, we continue to choose to empower them, it begins to create an identity. The identity is so powerful because that identity says, like, I believe I'm this kind of person. I believe I'm this kind of person who takes these kind of actions. And therefore, that is who I am. That's my identity. But let's say there's something in your life that you might struggle with, that you might want to change, you might want to do better. And whenever you encounter that certain thing, like let's say it's attracting abundance or finding love or something like that, let's say that comes up, and whenever that comes up, you have thoughts about it like, I could never, or I'm not good enough, because you have these sorts of ideas that limit you and put you in this box and start to tell you, I can't do that because of this and this, and I can't have that because of this and this, and I did this in the past and it led me to here and it led me to there. Like, that's still just a suggestion. Whether or not those things happen, what it shows you, what it is reflecting to you, is that within your subconscious mind, you have some sort of limiting belief based off of some experience or repetitive thing that you have told yourself that's now currently telling you, he believes, she believes they are this way. They are this kind of person and they struggle with this and this. So we're going to feed them these thoughts that align with that specific belief. It's simpler than we make it. The thought forms that exist in our subconscious, it's like a conglomeration of all these thoughts that we've had. Like, let's say you have one thought go through your head, but let's say it's that similar thought. Like, let's say a thought that's like, I'm not good enough, something like that. And that goes through your head. And every time that's gone through your head, you felt a certain emotion. You've empowered that thought. You've attached the electric to the magnetic, the thought form to the emotion. You've put the two pieces together and you created a reality out of that. Let's say that's happened so many times that now you hold a belief within your subconscious mind. All of those times that thought form went through your mind, it all just gathered and conglomerated and it became a dense energy within you. That dense energy, now every time you look in that direction of, what if I could have this? And then you start to think like, I'm not good enough. It's that energy reflecting to you and showing you that, the thought of maybe I could do that, maybe I could do this, is conflicting with this deeper held belief that you have in your life, right? Now, subconscious beliefs, especially the limiting ones, can come from anywhere. It could come from childhood traumas. It could come from adulthood traumas. It could come from the self-talk that we repeat to ourselves daily. It's built on that. But the thing is, we have to remember we can change these beliefs. we can dismantle this energy. If you have this energy within yourself that says, for example, that you're not good enough, and every time you think like, I'm gonna try that, I'm gonna try to get to this next level, I'm gonna try to go after that thing or talk to that person, and that thing comes up that says, I don't know if I'm ready, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I'm capable of that. What you have to do is change the narrative. Because that thought form that comes up that says, oh, I don't know, is a reflection, it's a suggestion. It is not the truth. So if you were to take that thought form and it says like, let's say like you tell yourself, oh, I'm abundant, I am fulfilled, I am wealthy, I have financial abundance in my life. And your subconscious comes up and says, no, you don't. No, you don't. Then you begin to question those thoughts. You ask it why. Well, why not? And then you'll get this whole list of things and it'll say, well, because you're like this, because you're like this. And when you go through those rebukes consistently enough, when you go through those negative responses and you begin to say, it says like, oh, you're not good enough. Well, what if I am? What if I've just been telling myself this whole time? You start to reprogram from the inside out. But the idea here is you have to take responsibility for it, because there's many of us that live our lives just bound to these limiting beliefs and these limiting perceptions, because every time we think, I'm gonna go after that thing, something comes up and it says, oh, you can't do that. You said, oh, you're right, I can't do that. You just empowered the negative limiting belief further, right? And it takes time to do this, because the same amount of time that it took you to build this limiting belief within yourself, it's gonna take you that time and effort and energy to actually take that apart and reprogram those beliefs, because at the bottom line, it is just energy. It's not based on a truth or a reality like we might perceive it to. Because it's easy we get into a mood and we start feeling like, I can't do this and blah, blah, blah. You get negative like that. You have to change the energy. You have to alchemize it. You have to meet it with, maybe I can do this. Maybe I am enough. Maybe I am worthy. Maybe I am totally capable of doing this, and the only thing holding me back are my limiting beliefs. You reprogram the subconscious mind to reflect that. And just like I mentioned earlier, where you might have some positive habits and some positive beliefs about yourself, it's going to build, and that's going to become an identity. It's going to become a pillar of who you are. Now, when you realize that you can really accomplish anything that you want in the world. But you have to be willing to go through those beliefs, to face those traumas, to face up to those situations that made you feel like you weren't enough, or you didn't have it, or you couldn't do this, or blah, 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 in the first place. Those things are just suggestions. As I've said before, the suggestions can be suggested otherwise. If they're just coming up into your mind and saying, oh, you shouldn't do this because of this, you say, well, maybe I should do this because I can and because I think of this and this, then your subconscious mind is just going to say, okay. The subconscious mind is so objective. It's not looking at you like it knows exactly who you are. It just holds data. It's holding all these data and this energy and these experiences of who you've been. And when we realize that, when we come to a new situation and it brings up those energies, that's only a reflection of where you have been before. That is not saying that you can't change, because the subconscious is just listening to what you're telling it. If you are limited in a situation, it means at some point in your life, either you, society, situations you've been in, parents, teachers, have told you something that's stuck to you. It became a belief, it became a sort of thorn in your side that collected debris over time. And now it's this big, messy spiral of negative energy that's telling you you can't do what it is that you want to do, or holding you back from what it is that you want to do. Because the subconscious dictates 90% of our reality. This conscious mind and our thinking is probably only 10%. So that means that what's going on beneath the surface, it has so much more of a profound impact on literally everything. Whether it comes to how strong you are, how physically fit and healthy you are, or how much money you're able to make, how easily you're able to connect with people, how you feel about yourself when you talk to people or connect with people. All of these things has to do with the image that we have created of ourselves within our subconscious mind. So know that at any given moment, you're like a blank canvas. You can begin rewriting the programs within your subconscious mind to reflect the reality that you want to experience. Even if your whole life you felt something about something that has been negative, you can change it. All it takes is bringing that conscious awareness to it, and next time that thought comes up that makes you feel unworthy or not enough or like you shouldn't because of blah, 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 you just have to consciously be aware of it, question the thought form, and then start suggesting new thought forms, new ideas, new energies that are going to align with what you want. And like I said earlier, we combine the electric and the magnetic. We combine the thought form and we combine the emotion with it, because that's what makes them powerful. This is why some people get nowhere with saying affirmations. You can say, I am amazing, I am powerful, I am great. But if you say it just so mundane, like you're just repeating it, maybe it'll do something. Maybe over time you're going to slowly acclimate to that and you're going to have that thought form more in your head. But the thing that's going to really make it stick is when you feel that thing, when you feel the emotion of it. Imagine if you were to say, like, I'm a millionaire, I have total financial freedom and total financial abundance, and you were to feel the feeling of that. Close your eyes and imagine what it would be like. You're totally free. It feels amazing. You can go sit outside. You can spend time with your family as you want to. You feel that feeling of how that feels like you have it in the moment. And then combine the thought form with that. What you're doing is you're combining those elements and creating a powerful energy within yourself. Because that's the same way the negative thought forms were created. It wasn't just like you felt like you're not good enough. It was you had a feeling that combined with the idea of you not being good enough. And now every time that something comes up, you feel maybe a sense of like despair or fear or something that's going to keep you from it, because you have cultivated and built up that energy, right? It's just like, I know why I'm thinking of this metaphor, but it's kind of like making a snowball, right? We start with just a little bit, but the more that you pack in, you can make it really dense, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the bigger this thing is, it begins to take on weight. It begins to get heavy. It begins to stick together. And even when that snowball is in the sun, it's going to take longer for that to melt because of how dense it is. So this is the same thing with our thought forms. Instead of just having maybe some light beliefs about yourself, where it's like, yeah, I do my affirmations, I tell myself I'm enough and I'm this, but you don't really like make it dense, make it real, like make it something really tangible for yourself, then you're not gonna find yourself being influenced in that positive way that's gonna lead you to taking those actions that's gonna further refine that. Because once the thought form is set in, once the positive ideas have set in, taking action on it is what actually makes it solidified. It's what actually makes it very real. Because like I said, let's say you have an idea and you wanna like get healthy, you wanna get in shape, and you start thinking, yeah, I'm super healthy, I'm super in shape, I'm super fit, and you can feel the idea, you can feel like, that feels amazing. I wake up in the morning, I feel energized. I can go and run and I can not be tired. I can feel the strength in my body, I'm healthy. When you have that, and then that idea comes up in your mind, and then you go take action on it, you go exercise, you go work out, you choose to eat that cleaner thing instead of that dirtier thing, you're only further refining the idea. Because then not only are you creating the idea, the image, the energy within yourself, but you are allowing that to manifest in your physical reality. It's when we combine these things, because I know there's a lot of people that think manifestation is just kind of like hocus pocus, woo woo, magic. They don't want to accept it, they don't want to touch it. And they just think doing the physical thing, like if I just do the physical thing and I do the work, I'm gonna get there. There's validity to that. But it's likewise, if you were to just do the physical thing, I mean, if you were to have a belief about yourself that completely contradicted the thing you were doing, like let's say you wanted to build a business and the only beliefs you had about yourself about business were that you suck at business and that you don't feel confident about this or that, but you kept doing the thing, you're only going to achieve results that align with and match the beliefs that you hold subconsciously. So what we have to realize is that we have to combine both. We have to get the thought right. We have to get the emotion right, and then we have to get the physical energy right. When we align these, we are a magnetic creation machine. We find our true power and our true energy and our true ability to manifest and create and influence our lives on a conscious level. So that's the idea. That is the idea. We put it all together. We put the pieces together in order to create what we want, because when we align the realms, when we recognize the power of the mental, we recognize the power of the energetic and combine that with physical empowered action that aligns with those ideas, that's when we become an unstoppable force. You're doing the work and you believe that you're good at it. You believe that you can make it happen. You believe that you're leading to something. Because then the physical reality is actually tapped into a timeline and a reality where your dreams await you in a very literal sense. When we think, like every thought that we think is a reality within itself. If you're to think like, I am worthy, I can achieve this, all of my goals are right in front of me, and the dream life that I see for myself, it awaits me and it's there and I can tap into it, you can feel the energy within yourself. You can feel how it feels and you think, wow, that feels really amazing. Just that feeling alone might inspire you to go do something else, to go do something that's going to align with that and actually bring you into that space. And what ends up happening is the physical, because the physical, this matter, it takes shape and takes form. It moves in formation. Think of that word, information, inform. The form comes from the ideas that we have. When we are informed, when we give ourselves the information, the matter takes shape and takes form around what it is that we focus on and empower. So with that, because I don't want to make this too long, remember that you have to be conscientious of what you allow to go through your mind. It doesn't matter how hard you work at something if your mindset is crap. If your mindset is not aligned with the work that you're doing, you're literally making it harder for yourself. It's like trying to walk upstream, trying to swim up a river. Be like, oh, I'm working hard, I'm gonna get there, but so much effort. Imagine if you were to put the same amount of effort into swimming downstream. Right? You're being so much more efficient. You could put in the same amount, you can work as hard as you want. That's the thing. You could put a ton of effort into stuff, but if your mind is aligned with it, it's gonna be that much more powerful. So be conscious, be aware of what thoughts come up and how they make you feel. If a thought is coming up and it doesn't align with who you want to be and the reality that you want to experience, question it. Suggest what it ought to be, what could be true, and then feel how it feels if those positive things were actually true. And then watch how your reality changes. Watch how you change. Because this isn't about the external reality, this is about changing yourself. Because when you change yourself, your external reality will change in that order. But we have to get that order right. We have to begin the change and do the work from the inside. And this is where it all starts. All right? I hope that helps. Thank you all for watching and have a wonderful day. Until next time, take care.